Hey, what's up guys? Tim here from Buy the Pump. I just want to go over a few of the stocks that were in play this previous week and then the couple that I'll be watching this next week. Unfortunately, I think next week will be a little bit quieter because a few of these died this week, but there still should be a couple good opportunities and hopefully a new pump coming out. So let's start here with OMVE, which is the LovePennyStocks.com promotion. LovePennyStocks.com, of course, is a new promoter. We don't know a whole lot about them or what to expect from them. So last week when I went over OMVE, I was mentioning that we should watch for the 44.5-cent breakout. And what I was hoping for was for volume to come in on that breakout and for it to be a fairly explosive breakout. Well, neither of those things happened. Volume has been very low all week, and this has been choppy and illiquid and hasn't really gone up a ton. Let's see here. We've had a lot of morning fades and then ramp ups, a couple midday fades here, I guess. But this has just been a liquid choppy. I have no reason to trade this right now. I'm just going to be watching it to see where it winds up, when it tanks, to just get a little more familiar with this new promoter. And since it has had another leg up, maybe that'll bring in some new subscribers, make people a little more likely to buy early in the next promotion of theirs. So I just want to get familiar with them and possibly buy their next one early on if there is a good opportunity to. But other than that, no plans with OMVE. I have really no interest in trading this whatsoever. Moving on, let's talk about BVSN. BVSN I talked about last week because we were looking for a 32.35 break, which was the high since the repump had started. But I cautioned against buying it because of earnings this Wednesday and because of the fact that NIA held 158,000 shares of the stock and the volume was right around there or below. So it turns out it would have been a terrible buy, so I'm glad I cautioned against it. NIA on Wednesday dumped about 110,000 shares worth of their stock that they were holding, and you can see the effect it had on the price, which was no surprise. So I'm actually a little bit upset with myself for not shorting this. There would have been a good shorting opportunity here. But given that earnings were looming, I didn't want to take any chances on there being surprise good numbers. So I chose to stay away. I played it safe. Missed out on a good chance to make some money, but that happens. You're not going to catch them all. But NIA is probably about done with BVSN. They might promote it a little bit more into the Facebook IPO, but we're not going to get anywhere near the spike that I originally expected. Even if there is a moderate-sized spike, I may be inclined to short it, but there's no reason to buy this in my opinion at this point. And I'm just really hoping that they move on soon to a new pump, which I think they may do within a month of the Facebook IPO and hype dying down a little bit about Facebook. So we can only hope, but this is really not one you should be trading at this point. Let's talk about SNPK next. This is the current Crazy Penny promotion. It had a couple nice days to close out last week on Thursday and Friday. It topped out at 133 on Friday, it looks like. We were looking for some signs of continuation this week, but it topped out real fast on Monday at 135 and has been nothing but down since. We had a morning panic on Tuesday morning, which I screwed up very badly. We tanked here all the way down to 77 originally, 76 actually. And I bought the bounce at 77 and was thinking it would get a nice bounce out of it. It topped out real fast at 81. I sold out on its way back down here at 79, and then it proceeded to break through its earlier lows of the day. So when it broke through 72 here, I thought that was significant because a couple weeks ago when it had its huge tank, it set the low of 72. So the fact that it was setting new lows here going through that previous one, I thought that that meant this had a ways more to go, and when it started bottoming against 66, I thought it was probably going to be a fake out again. So I did not buy at 66, and I immediately regretted it because it popped up on air pretty much. Had a very, very nice spike. Within 10 minutes, it spiked about 30%, and then had even more in it after that. So I missed a great opportunity here. Another example of me being too conservative. But then they held it up most of the day with size midday and even began spiking it again a little bit. So I thought that they had engineered this panic to suck in some more shorts. At least that's what I had hoped. So I thought we were going to get another leg up and maybe get this thing moving again. But didn't turn out that way. Wednesday it sold off. Thursday it sold off because they had stopped sending emails Wednesday night. And then they resumed emails again Thursday night, which made this gap up a little bit and have the morning spike. I really think that they just resumed emails because they're looking to create some more buyers to sell into. I think they're probably going to be liquidating some big positions in the next few weeks, and this thing is toast. So hopefully they move on soon. I'm going to be watching my scanners for any weird activity, and I will be, of course, paying attention to my email, particularly Thursday afternoon, because the past few promos have been Thursday afternoons around 2 or 2:30 Eastern time. So I'll especially be watching then, but I'll always be ready. I'll be looking to buy the next one early and hope that I can have some patience next time and hold for a little while and get a pretty nice return out of it. But SNPK, I believe, is out of play. There's really no reason to be trading this anymore. It's not shortable in active brokers. So I really recommend just staying away. Let's move on to the two now that I'm watching for this next week. Let's start with LUXR. LUXR, I talked about last week in my video. I was saying to keep an eye open for a bullish sign out of it. Let's take a quick look at a daily chart here just to familiarize you with it. LUXR had had a high of 124 and then collapsed and then had gone sideways for about a day and a half. So as it was mid-range, I was saying there was no reason to be long it just in case it collapsed again. And I was going to wait for a bullish sign to buy. Well, Monday afternoon, we got that bullish sign. It set a morning high of 110 and then had the afternoon day breakout past that. So I bought some here at 110, sold out a little bit before the close, and then the rest of it into the top of this spike. I think I got executed the very top at 122. And I let it set up. I waited for the real breakout, and I got long another 5,000 shares at 124. And I kind of scalped in and out of this a little bit. I sold half of that position at 133, missed buying this dip, then rebought when it had the confirmation breakout of 135. But all in all, I did a good job with it. I held and sold out most of it 157 to 158, which was within 4 or 5 cents of the dead top at 162 here. So I was very happy with how I traded this. I made some nice money. And then it did collapse. It did fall apart towards the end of the week. But now we've had the past day and a half again of it going sideways. And it kind of perked up a little bit into the close here. So I've got the exact same plan with LUXR this coming week. I am not going to buy it when it's mid-range like this. But I'm going to wait for something bullish to show me that I should be buying. So if we do have another situation on Monday or Tuesday where it sets a morning high and then breaks out past it in the afternoon, I'll probably take a starter position on buying that breakout. And if it can eventually build back up to 162 and have another big breakout, that'd be great. I'm not exactly sure that this thing will be able to do that. It would be a third leg, which is quite a bit for it, but you never know. So just be keeping LUXR on your radar and be ready for a buy if it does set up for that breakout. Finally, last stock I want to talk about, of course, is SEFE. This stock, I have just done a terrible job of trading its entire promotion, but what are you going to do? I mentioned last week I was long from 166, I believe it was, and that I was going to try to hold and be patient with it. I was not patient. I did not hold. I sold out all of it at 189. So I left a lot on the table. As you can see, it had a very huge run up here. And then on the various dips and bottoms, I have gotten faked out multiple times. Let's see, what did I do here? Well, first of all, Wednesday I'm not really going to count as part of my screw up. I was at jury duty. I had a short position in this, but I really had to trade it conservatively because I was trading without level 2 and I was pretty much flying blind. So I won't hold that against myself. But there were multiple times. I snagged the low here at 145, let it spike, didn't sell into that spike, and then got shook out down here when it broke this low of 152 after it bottomed here again. I bought the low this morning at 146 and got shook out, didn't hold through this spike. Bought on this dip at 175, it spiked a little bit, failed 175, I sold out at 174. So I've screwed it up multiple times. But now it's trading strong. I'm long a few thousand over the weekend from 190. It's starting to look good again. We'll see if they can bring it back, break it out past 296. I don't recommend chasing on this spike here. Just let it set up. The ultimate break is 296. I would love to buy a break out of that if it can build back up to that, but that may be a long shot. So SEFE, I just recommend be conservative. Don't chase spikes, snag dips, and just be careful. So good luck to you guys next week. Hope you have a good week of trading.